today I want to show you how to use AIMSweb to do some browser-based testing so that you can test your students and enter the data very quickly and easily. So let's go ahead and get logged in here. Okay, so we're going to look at reading today. And so we're going to start here by clicking on Edit Scores. Okay, and it's going to give you a little warning box saying, are you sure you want to do this? Of course, we're sure. Okay. Now, depending on which test you're given, you'll see those populated here. And the process is pretty similar for all of the tests. Okay, so let's suppose that we're going to go ahead and test Julian here. Okay, so we're going to put Assess Now, and you'll click on that. Okay, prepare to begin probe 1 of 3. And when you start, click Instructions. Okay, and these are things that you're going to need to read. You notice it kind of prompts you to say this. Okay, and you'll read that. When I say begin, start reading aloud at the top of the page. Read across the page, and then you'll demonstrate. Try to read each word. If you come to a word you don't know, I'll tell it to you. Be sure to do your best reading. Do you have any questions? Okay, so you'll read the instructions to them. And then when you're ready and the student is ready, you start the timer. Okay, and you notice the timer's going and the student will start reading. Okay, and then you can click as they read on any word that they make an error on. Okay, any lines that they skipped, you can click there. And as they go through this, you will attend to what they're saying, and it's recording the data right here on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to let the timer run. And as you can imagine, this is a big step up from the paper and pencil versions of this in terms of the time. Okay, so it said probe complete, please select the last word attempted. So we'll suppose that Julian made it to deer. Okay, so you notice it's given you the data right here. Okay, 221 correct with 17 errors. Okay, and then you will go ahead and do this again for this one. There's a new set of instructions. Okay, and I would, just to be safe, make sure that you read the instructions as they're written so that the student's always clear with what you're expecting that student to do. Then you start the timer. Okay, and so as the student has done the reading, you know, you've been marking the errors that the student is making, and then the timer will run out. And we'll give you the same instruction. Select the last word that the student attempted. So we'll assume that Julian here made it to sidewalk. Okay, so 280 corrects with 17 errors. And then it says prepare to begin probe 3 of 3. There's another set of instructions. So once again, I would go ahead and read them and make sure everybody's on the same page. And when everybody's ready, start timer. And then go ahead and do the last one. Okay. Okay, and so as the student finishes up, okay, and we see the timer running out, so this is the third probe. Here, okay, we'll get our last dialog box here that'll tell us to get the last word that the student attempted. Say student made it all the way down here to work. Okay. So probe 3 has been scored, 278 corrects, 27 errors. All probes have been completed. Please select the next student. So at this point, you could send Julian back to class or back to his seat, and you could call another student. So Haley here has not gotten a chance to do it. So maybe bring Haley into where you're testing and do that. Okay. But we're not going to do that here. We'll go back to the scoring. You see that Julian's scores have already been entered for you, and this shows that we've got an opportunity to do this through our browser, so we don't have to do the paper and pencil. We don't have to count them ourselves. We don't have to count the errors and enter the data by hand. So this can be a very, very efficient way to do your screeners, so that we can get good data on our students' progress as they progress toward their learning goals. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at ashaver@inghamISD.org.